hustle here in downtown Aurora, doing my second favorite thing, drinking coffee. I do that every day right after I tune in to Good Morning Aurora.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Well, the time is 8:01 a.m. It's Friday the 15th, and we are here at the new Media Center. You are watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. I actually just noticed that I didn't put our desk thing on there.
It's okay.
Right? When you're doing new things, you might get a little befuddled. But anyway, we have a great show for you guys this morning. We have an awesome guest who's actually returning to the shows. We were on Buenos Dias, Aurora before, yes. But first time on Good Morning Aurora. So our guest today is my dear friend Tiana Juarez of the Community Collective. How you feeling?
Good.
All right. Good to see you.
I'm so happy to be back and in your new space.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yes.
I mentioned it to you before, but the Red really got the motivation going this morning. Yes. So good to see you.
Likewise.
So we're going to talk about the upcoming Fox Valley Business Expo, which is Friday the 22nd. Mm-hmm. But first things first for our listeners, tell us about Community Collective. Who was involved? What's it all about?
Yes, so that Community Collective was started in 2018. It was started to empower professionals and entrepreneurs through community, through connections, and education.
All right, very cool, very cool. How often do you guys meet or get together?
We have at least 2 events a month.
Okay.
We have a speed networking, which is similar to speed dating.
Oh, okay. From table to table.
Yes. So you get to meet everybody in the room.
Okay.
And then we have one that's called Growth Collective, which is a leadership mastermind.
Okay. Yeah. How does one get involved or join? How does somebody get involved with that?
So you can visit our website. It's called mycommunitycollective.com.
Okay. All right.
And you'll find all the information on there and just join us at an event.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I do have the flyer specifically for the Fox Valley Business Expo, and we're going to talk about that here a little bit more in detail. Before you guys, just to let you guys know what's happening with the show and the different things that we're doing, today we're also going to show you guys some content too. So this episode is really special because this is our first actual official new ready to go. Yes. Like it's no more training wheels.
You made it.
Right. So glad to see all of you guys out there. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching Good Morning Aurora. So free entry, we're going to be at the Fox Valley Mall for this, and it's going to be Friday, September 22nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Yes. Now I have the flyer here with the adjoining QR code as well, and people can register as exhibitors as well.
Yes, we still have a couple of spots that they can register. So if you're looking to showcase your business to other business owners, this is the perfect place. And as you mentioned, it's free entry. So anybody who wants to start a business or already has a business and they're in that stage of growth, this is the event for you.
Okay. So when it comes to the local businesses and business people that we have in Aurora and the whole Fox Valley area, what's your assessment of our business strength out here? How do you feel about the people that you come in contact with? Are we growing and vibrant? Do we got more places to go? What's your
yes, that's a good question.
What's your personal opinion?
So this is one of the reasons why Community Collective came into existence.
Okay.
Because in the past, I used to work with an organization that worked quite a bit with business development.
Okay.
And so we found that we needed the community.
Right.
And that was the difference that we made versus the chambers, not dissing on them or anything.
Sure, yeah.
But like really building that community and the connections within each other. Because what's the point of going to an event and then that's it? Right? You don't build the relationships. And so we really work hard on that, okay, do you need a connection? whether it be for a job or for a service, we have somebody that we can refer you to.
Depends a lot on if the person is understanding that. Like it seems like their mindset has to be there though too. It seems like there's some people who believe that, just by showing up,
Right.
Just I'm here, I got my table, they'll just come. Like, right, if you build it, they will come. It's not always like that. You got to put in, some work. You may have to, hit the boost or something like that. You may have to do many things.
So part of what we're doing through the mastermind, the leadership mastermind, is really connecting the person, not just the business, not just what they do.
Okay.
Because it's about the person too, right? And so we really dig deep into maybe mindset, like you mentioned. What are some of the obstacles that you're going through?
Right.
And how can community help you with that? Whether they have a resource or they have a different way of thinking, a perspective. And so that has been really helpful for people.
What's some of the obstacles that you guys hear about or that people have gone through?
For example, like with marketing, right? We've talked about like what have been some of the challenges, and budget is the one that always comes up. And so within the community that we've created with that, people have shared like there's ways that you could do it where you don't need a budget at all to market. Like, okay, I will like your post and get that going. Let's be Facebook friends or whatever the case. And I'll share yours. And so building that community.
It goes a long way.
Yes.
It goes a long way. Yep. You don't got to pay for that.
Yep.
Here's the thing that interests me about, not just these kind of events that build the individual and their business, but I think that not enough attention has been paid to the power that networking can bring, because maybe it's just the ambitious nature of most people, but I feel like people believe that there's no value in it. Is that an opinion that you have, or what do you think about that? I think not enough people maybe realize the value in it.
I think it's more the follow-up.
Okay.
It's creating the connection beyond the networking, because you can go to networking and events and receive nothing because there's no connection with somebody. But if you can look at it from the perspective of how can I help you through my solution, right? And not necessarily a sales pitch, because maybe right now I can't help you, but I can either connect you to somebody that can. Being the value for somebody as opposed to what can you give me. Right.
Exactly. So what can we expect at the Fox Valley Business Expo? So it's 10 a.m., right? I walk in, coffee, donuts, what you got?
Yes, we will have some coffee and some donuts. And we're going to have the ribbon cutting at 10 a.m.
Okay.
So we'll have some officials come out and share a couple of words. So we're looking to make this the suburb comparison to the Small Business Expo in the city.
Oh, okay.
Because everything happens in the city, but then what about the people in the suburbs?
Right, exactly.
And so this is what we're looking to do every year.
Right. And we're big enough out here where we can do our own thing. Exactly. We don't have to keep relying on the big mother city to give us everything.
Right. Let's make this a thriving business ecosystem.
Right. The time is 8:08. Josue Pais, good morning to you. Daniel Calderon, good morning to you. Norma Peterson, good morning, GAMS fam. Hope everyone has a safe and happy weekend. Well, we appreciate that from you guys. Our guest today, once again, is our friend Tia Juarez of the Community Collective. We're here to talk about the Fox Valley Business Expo, which is coming up at the Fox Valley Mall Friday, September 22nd from 10 a.m. To 3 p.m. Discover local resources and expertise, join educational breakout sessions, and network with fellow entrepreneurs and business owners. Who are some of the giants in business who are going to be there? The giants in business.
The giants in business.
Make sure I use that again. Alex, you caught that right? Yeah, let's make sure we use that. The giants in business.
Yes. So we have Insperity that will be joining us. They focus on HR services.
Okay.
We also have Oh my goodness. Let me think.
Oh, it's okay. See, we can do that on this show. Alvin Soto, good morning to you. Shout out McCarty Mills. McCarty Mills is the place to be on a Friday night or a Saturday or a Sunday when they have pozole. Go there and let them know you heard about it on Good Morning Aurora.
What?
Oh,
they got pozole?
Yeah, we
Really?
can't scratch it up yet on this show, but they have pozole. Yes, they do,
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
fantastic.
I'm going to have to check it out.
Dora Sanchez Soto makes excellent pozole.
Oh, let's see. Okay, so we have the Career and Networking Center.
Okay.
We have Cultivate Coaching, Edward Jones.
Edward Jones.
Just to name a few. We also have Raising Our Daughters Foundation.
Oh, yes.
With Shauna Weatherspoon.
That's right. Yep.
Yes.
Awesome people. We interviewed her.
She's going to be speaking.
Okay.
She's going to be speaking on sales.
She's a great person.
Yes.
We interviewed her and my dear friend Giselle Gonzalez, too. Great interview.
Yes. First National Bank.
Okay.
Fox Valley Habitat for Humanity.
Shouts out Barbara's and Brooke, all of them, everybody.
Yes.
Yep.
Let me see who else. Law offices of McLaughlin and Associates.
Okay.
Living Water Cleaning Services. So we have so many that are coming through, and as we mentioned, there's going to be breakout sessions. So if you're looking to learn about sales or marketing, we're going to have those sessions there.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Now, this will also provide business owners, startups, and entrepreneurs an opportunity to showcase their products or services. So the showcasing part, where in the mall exactly is this going to be, though, too?
Yeah, so it will be inside above the food court.
Okay.
There's like a lounge area.
Okay.
Right next to Tapville.
Okay.
If you're familiar.
I haven't been in the mall in a while. Wow.
It's changed quite a bit.
The kids still rolling around with the skates on the shoes, though? They're still doing that?
You know it.
Come on, parents. Well, you know what? Well, that's another episode. We'll take care of that another time. So showing off their the products or their services, network with potential clients, and gain exposure for their brand. So as the people who come there, if they have questions, who will they be? Who can they meet with? Sure, they can meet and talk to some of the vendors, but for just normal Joe Schmo coming off the street, you're definitely going to be there.
Yes.
But if they have questions and want to sign up for for the help, they can do that as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Now your background was you worked, and I don't want to. I want to make sure you worked for the company.
Yep.
A company and saw the value in the business interaction, the one-on-one with the people, the community.
Yes.
Talk about how that's changed, because I've noticed that big companies now like the light went on in their head. They started realizing, like, wait a minute, we should start outreaching in the community.
Yes.
Like, we need to be at the bake sale. We should be at the Fiestas Patrias event. Talk about how that's changed in your experience or what you've seen with that.
Yeah. So the thing is, I think that's the part that a lot of these companies are missing.
Okay.
They're doing a lot of digital marketing, but they're missing that human connection.
Right.
And you have to meet people where they're at. That's always just been a belief of mine with whatever company I've worked with. It's boots on the ground. And really connecting with the person. And so I've seen that that's been happening a lot more now that COVID's kind of gone away a little bit, right? So, and also they are really touching base with minorities, which wasn't as big before.
Never was, right?
Right.
Crazy.
Right. Talk about diversity and inclusion.
Right.
Has just been on the right. It's always been there, but it hasn't been.
It has, right. Yeah, you're right. You see...
He's like a
what
show.
time is the time is 8:14. You know what? Let's keep going though. Juan Cayetano, good morning. Betty McNair, Youngblood, good morning.
Youngblood, I love that.
Yes, that was a beautiful name. And Luz Elena Brambrilla, good morning to you. Yeah, it was there, but I do believe that it was kind of if it's not broke, don't fix it. right? This is just how we are. I was talking to, I think, State's Attorney Mosser about it, where, you know, office services and things like that. You had paperwork to bring back, right? Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, right? It's like if you're not here by 5 p.m., doors closed, that's it. Now you got to wait till Monday or whatever. So the human element wasn't there. Things may have been efficient, but the human element wasn't there. And I think that that's what COVID changed.
Yes.
That COVID really changed that, because like if, you know, now the business that's been just doing it forever,
Right.
now there's no humans coming.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do now?
Right.
You know, so I do believe that's the big change that we've seen. But speaking of COVID, this show started during COVID. What do you think is the biggest change that COVID made in the lives of the people, the entrepreneurs and the business folks who are either having a business that's coming out of COVID successfully, or maybe lost one during, or starting something new? What do you think is the biggest impact?
Well, I think as a person, it's learning to pivot.
Okay.
Because as you mentioned, a lot of these businesses have been doing things because it's been working for so long.
Right.
And then we get hit with this COVID. And a lot of them, they went down because they didn't pivot.
Right.
And some of them, it was their best year because they found how to pivot.
Right.
And you're like, what?
As a wise man once said, I mean, if you can't swim, you bound to drizzle, you know? Time is 8:16. Tracy Duran, good morning. Jackie Marie, good morning. Yeah, I think for a lot of people too. So business. Here's the other thing. Tell me what you think about this. I'm going to throw it out there.
Okay.
For a lot of people in those same businesses, a lot of them had dreams and aspirations that they maybe wanted to do or thought about doing, or maybe I can, maybe I can't. And then COVID provided them that opportunity to do that, to where everything's crumbling. So that which makes me feel good, maybe I should try it. Maybe I should try it as secondary income. And some people blossomed out of that. And I think that's a good thing. And I think that's what makes or breaks a business or a business person. Because you have to have, like, the pivot shouldn't just be on COVID. It should be for anything. Like, you may have, you may have to pivot in life, right? You may have to. Tell us about your greatest pivot moment.
Oh, my gosh.
Nice segue, right? The time is 8:17 a.m. But before we do that, can we, because we got the,
Yes.
we can do that.
Cheers. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that. Well, because when I first came on the show, I had shared about my story.
Yes.
Having gone through cancer, right? And that was huge for me.
It was.
And I just keep thinking pain to purpose, which I feel like that's what a lot of people went through. We were going through some painful experiences, and it like pushed us into what we were called to do.
Right.
And that was something that definitely happened to me. I mean, I was literally on my deathbed. And for me, that's where I found my faith. And that just changed my life completely. Looking at the way that I function, just the way I do business, it changed a lot. I launched my own business, which is Purpose and Grace, which I take women through the process that I went through and through faith to help them walk in their purpose.
Right.
And so that was huge, like really leaning on my faith and walking in rest. No longer the hustle mentality. And I know a lot of people are going to push back on that. And I'm not saying that hard work is dismissed. No. But it's like, for me, it's leaning on my faith.
No, I totally understand. I totally understand. I see it both, you know, the hustle mentality, sure, it's sitting there on the shelf, but you shouldn't hustle yourself to death.
Right. And that was the biggest pivot for me.
Life is not about hustling yourself to death. That's definitely. I understand that. I look at it. It's not necessarily my pivot story, but I look at it. I look at all the times I hustled without being able to see. There's the ceiling sometimes, and people need to understand that you may have, like, if you're working somewhere or whatever you're going through, you need to be able to see if there's a ceiling. Like, am I only able to go so far at this company? Like, it's what I'm going to do, right? Is what I'm doing. Am I going to be able to go here or there?
Yeah.
And, like, you shouldn't hustle yourself to death. Life was not meant to hustle yourself to death. So I totally get it. Being ambitious is a good thing. But chasing money or the thing until you die is that's no way to live.
So through my experience working with a lot of entrepreneurs and small businesses, that's the mentality.
Right.
It's like, I'm getting into entrepreneurship because I want that money.
Right.
And that's always been a thing that I've told them. It's like, if that's the case, you're going to get discouraged very quickly.
Yep.
And I used to walk in that hustle mentality. Like, I have to always be doing. And that's just something that COVID showed me. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way.
Right.
And you can do it in a way where it's not stressing you out all the time. And then you end up having all these diseases.
Right. Exactly.
As you mentioned.
Exactly.
Right?
Not taking care of yourself, not getting sleep, being fatigued and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know if, we giving them tips right now for the Fox Valley Business Expo, Friday, September 22nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Fox Valley Mall. Once again, it's going to be in the area adjoining or next to Tapville, above the food court.
Yes.
Right? Above the food court. So we have the flyer here. FoxValleyBusinessExpo.com is where you can go to discover local resources and expertise and join educational breakout sessions. Very cool. Very cool. Time is 8:21. So what do you have planned this weekend?
This weekend, I'm going to rest.
Okay.
And I think I told you that because next week is going to be, we're prepping up for the event.
Okay.
And as you know, that's quite a bit of work.
Right.
For
Absolutely.
That. But we're so excited. We're excited for what this is going to be and just the next year. Now we're planning the next year.
Okay.
Just moving forward with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How can people find out more about Community Collective specifically? Where are you guys located?
We don't have an actual office. It's all from home.
Okay.
And you can go on our website. It's called mycommunitycollective.org.
Okay. Mycommunitycollective.org. You guys are on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. So the time is 8:22. Josie Mendoza Geller, good morning to you. And Jackie Marie, I think I said good morning to you, Jackie. If I did not, good morning. And thank you guys for watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast.
Yeah.
So with business, this is annual. This is an annual expo. What year are you guys in with this?
This is our first one.
Oh, this is the first one?
This is our first one.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Maybe the other things I saw you guys doing weren't business expos then, because you guys do a lot.
Right.
Right. Okay. Growth Collective.
Growth Collective.
Excuse me. That's
Yes.
what. Tell us more about Growth Collective specifically.
Yeah. So that is the leadership mastermind.
Okay.
And that is growing our community leaders so that the bottom line of the community grows. And that's the one where we share like everybody's nuggets within the group. So what we do is we have a networking piece.
Okay.
And then we have everybody separate into a group of like 4 or 5 people.
Okay.
And then I have just some questions that I ask depending on the topic that we're sharing. And then just having them within each other share what they know, the challenges.
Can we do it together here?
Yeah,
Let's do one. What's the topic?
Okay.
And
let's talk about radio.
Radio? Okay, we can do that. Yeah,
that's your area of
expertise. Let's talk about it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what have been some of the obstacles that you have faced when it comes to?
Oh. What time is it? 8:24. Oh my God. Oh. Goodness gracious. The obstacles. I would say that the number one obstacle is actually, I'll take it back to number 1 and number 2. It's the gremlins
Oh, elaborate.
It's the gremlins. It's the so that is it's American folklore. Gremlins are these little evil guys who get into the machines, specifically in World War II with the bomber pilots, and make the controls go crazy, right? That's the thing about this that is so frustrating and difficult, and a lot of people don't know that, because sometimes when the worst things happen, it's like 6:45 a.m. when you're trying to get things ready and starting up, right? The mic's been working fine forever, and now when Congressman Bill Foster's here, it doesn't want to work. Like now the computer wants to restart.
They know just when.
They just know when, and it's like it's already stressful enough to want to be on time at 8 o'clock. It's already stressful enough when senator or congressperson or guest wants to use the bathroom, get some water, what time we got, right? But then when the mic doesn't work or whatever, or the camera just decides to just turn off, like those are the kind of things. Most people tell me that what's been difficult for them is the getting up part and doing it, which for me hasn't been difficult because I've been trying to do this since I was 10. But it does take a lot to do it, and for many people it can be discouraging as people have tried other different things. The same template can apply to whatever you're doing. I'm thinking right now of like Juan Cayetano, the Woodcrafters, right? The family, they make all kinds of great things. You can have a dream, but how much does it cost to get the equipment? That's another thing. That's discouraging enough. Like new cameras, subscriptions, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, what if your machine breaks down? How much you can repair it? Those kind of things could discourage you and make you be like, you know what? Maybe I should just keep working here at ComEd or wherever you're working at, and then kill your dream. Those are those things that kill people's dreams. So that's what's been difficult in radio, in doing what we're doing. That's what's been difficult. I've been fueling myself on motivation, but those different things that happen like that, that's what's been really, really tough. Because it's like, man, it just, and we've had some amazing failures. This show has had failures like you wouldn't believe, like bombs. We've had disasters that, interestingly enough, a lot of people will never see or know about because we weren't a visual podcast. We were an audio podcast starting off with. Yeah. As we tried to do more, as more opportunities came, tried to meet the challenge, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But all of them were learning experiences. So I'd say that was the difficult part about it.
And see, in this case, since I don't really know much about radio, but somebody who would be in your group may share something which you could relate to.
Right. Yep.
And then we move on to what have been some successes.
What have been some successes? A big success, a really big success, and people will kind of see it later on. It won't be today's episode, actually. But a big success was when Ron Hain, who was my first reach out email, agreed to come on our show. Now, this was way back when we were recording in the basement of Gremlin. Like, it was a shady situation. In retrospect, I don't think I would have followed me down those stairs for the interview. Like, where are we going? But that was mega because he's a sheriff of Kane County, and for him to spend his time with at that time, a 7-month-old podcast, that really meant a lot. So that was a huge success, and that actually provided us with a nice stepping stone of legitimacy, because after that, I was sending the link to that episode to other people, like, yo, can we get an interview? Here's our link here's an interview with Ron Hain, So I ate off that for like a month. It was
what
really
about
cool.
Some recent ones?
Recent successes?
Yes.
You're looking at it. Yes. The claps are live now.
Yes.
Yeah, this has been a recent success, and it's been a really big and good success because the communications team here, shout out to Nick Thompson, definitely, Alex with the city, but it's been a really big recent success because one of the many goals that we had was to create something for everybody in Aurora. And I feel we did that. I feel we did that, and we continue to do it. And I'm proud to live in a city that's seen that and been like, that's worth helping,
And you have your own media center now?
We do. Yeah. Clink them up again.
Yes.
We can do that. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Jennifer Ryan Mayton is here. Good morning. Peter Aguilera is here. Good morning. Get to know our friends of AA Electric, Aurora Electric. They are great. Can't remember the address. See, that's another thing, though. I got to get back to where I could just recite those addresses just like that. But now that I'm not looking at paper all the time, it's a little bit different. All right, guys. So the time is 8:30 a.m. Don't forget that the Fox Valley Business Expo is coming up Friday, September 22nd. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's going to be at the Fox Valley Mall. You can reserve your free ticket by going to foxvalleybusinessexpo.com. There's a joining QR flyer here, or you can go to any of the great posts on Facebook posted by the Community Collective for this great event. So please get to know them and get to know our friends of the Community Collective, especially as they are a great catalyst here for business in the city of Aurora. So we are going to go to a commercial after this, and we're going to show you guys some brand new content. Good Morning Aurora has been with us now for 3 years, and we've got something very special to show you. I'm going to go to a quick commercial, and we'll be back in just a moment.
And I'm so happy that I was here to witness. How are you feeling?
I'm hype right now. I'm probably going to cry when it's all over with.
You should.
Yeah.
Just let it flow.
This is Yokev here at the Tacos and Tamales Festival here in Pilsen, Saturday the 22nd. We're out here to see Spanky D, Aurora's own DJ. Here's Spanky D.
How y'all doing? Once again, it's your friendly neighborhood DJ Spanky D. We are represent Aurora for the 2023 Tacos y Tamale Fest. I just want to give big shots out to DJ House 13, Classic Crow. One of my guys from the Fab Five here is DJ Chino, DJ Ecstasy, Dave C. All my guys from Aurora. Once again, I'm doing my set today for a lost brother, DJ Mega Mitch Lynch from Aurora. We love you, Lynch. We'll always be here for you, brother. Love. Tacos y Tamale Fest 2023.
Orale.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
All right, you guys. So we are back, and this is going to be part 2 of the show. We're doing something different now. As you guys will see and notice, Good Morning Aurora is going to give you guys much more content, much more of the city of Aurora, much more of the people of Aurora, and so many different things. In addition to the news that we have, we're also going to start showing you guys some of the great content that we've shot and done in the 3 years of this show being around. So today we're going to show you guys an interesting piece of footage. Now here's the thing. When Good Morning Aurora started, you guys, if you've been here since then, Tracy Duran, Vanessa Rodriguez Aguirre, so many people, you know that it started in a bathroom. Well, right after the bathroom we were recording in Gremlin Studios, which is on Downer Place, right next to Tap House in the Legal Arts Building. Now, the thing at that time was we weren't doing video. Everything was audio. But right around the second month of us recording there, we started coming up with the idea, myself and Christine Walker, who gets the shout out today. We started thinking we really got to show people what's going on here. But as we just talked about with Tiana, that's where came different challenges, cameras and things like that. What are we going to do? What are we going to see? How are we going to do that? And we were having great guests, but the experience is only audio. So today, I'm going to show you guys a piece of pretty much, only 6 people have ever seen this footage before, but this is with the North Aurora Police Department. It's specifically with Chief DeLeo and, Deputy Chief Fisher. I think Chief DeLeo has since retired, but this is important footage and interesting footage because it's the first time that people actually got to see behind the scenes of what was going on in Good Morning Aurora. Now, this is also very important because, as I just mentioned, this is one of the very early episodes where we were able to get guests of quality. We sent out a email, we sent out a request for an interview. We either get answered to or people didn't. Just like that. But this was very special because they did respond to our request for an interview and they did come on to the show, and we had a really long conversation. This footage is about 20 minutes long, so you'll see just a portion of that interview, which is only fully on audio. So only on audio, but you guys can check it out right here. So let's go ahead and roll that footage, and I hope that you guys like it.
Or engaged, and it's very family oriented. You don't see a lot of that anymore. There's no going out. Everybody wants to go home to their families. Right. Or what really helps them when you talk to the community. You go to 7-Eleven, somebody wants to have a conversation. That's the way we decompress. Right. Just to have a normal conversation, somebody smiling at you, just want to hear about your day, you want to hear about their day. We'll buy them a cup of coffee and then we'll go on our way. That's what helps us gets through the day.
Yeah. What are some of the community initiatives that you're doing to stay involved, some of the different programs that you guys have going on?
We've got a lot, and every year we have a picnic at the police department where really anybody can come. It doesn't have to be just North.
And that's the one on Lake Street.
Yes, Airport Road.
Okay. Yeah. So we have that every year. We did, of course, because of the pandemic, we didn't have it this year, but it's more of like an open house. We have a picnic part of it. They can tour the police department, tour cars, our specialty vehicles, the firing range.
Bounce houses, free hot dogs.
We've got all that.
I'm glad you hit the important things, right?
Yeah. right. We also have Dunk-A-Cop.
You had bounce houses.
Yeah, Dunk-A police.
Oh, yes, yeah.
We got that. So we do that every year. We also have, this isn't just police department, but we have North Aurora Days every year, which of course that got canceled, but we're always out mingling with the crowd there. We have Santa Claus. We've done that for the past few years where the community can come and see Santa Claus, and we've got crafts and, again, free snacks for everybody. So we do that. Joe and my crime prevention officer, Robin Steckline, and I go right across the street. There's a retirement center there. Of course, we haven't been able to do that, unfortunately. But every month we go do coffee with the chief. And we just mingle with the residents of the retirement home, and they absolutely love it. And that's, the highlight of my day is going to see them. We have Citizens Police Academy that we try to run at least once a year. Again, that was canceled just a couple weeks into that, but we plan on resuming that. So we do that, and the citizens get to come and learn a lot about the police department and what it's really like to be the police, and I know a lot of agencies run these, and I'm sure they would say the same thing, is that they really gain some insight into what it is to be a police officer. The laws and, the boring stuff, but we also do a forensic block. We do a shoot, don't shoot scenarios. And I think that really opens their eyes. We do traffic stops, building searches, a block on DUIs and things like that. So it's quite informative to have stuff like that. We do ride-along programs. We get a lot of criminal justice students from Wabansie and from Aurora University. That's part of one of their classes, for example, where they have to come and do a ride-along. We do those. What else do we do, Joe?
We have the triad.
Yeah, triad with the seniors.
Mhm.
That's our crime prevention officer that deals with that. We've done coffee with the police at McDonald's before, and
We serve. We have Dunkin' Donuts where we do Cops on Top for Special Olympics.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I saw
We
that.
also will,
That was
and this is
cool.
our favorite time is in October. Hopefully we do it again. We serve at Culver's, and the proceeds they donate some of the proceeds to Special Olympics. So the best looks we ever get is when they're waiting in the drive-thru and the cop runs out with their food. Here you go. Have a great day. They're like, what?
That's my favorite is to take the food out. Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry
okay.
for the wait.
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
Made
And
with
they
love.
work, man. I'll tell you what, it opens your eyes.
It does.
Culver's kids work hard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do.
They do.
They do. Yeah.
So we do our best to get out there, and I think in the end it pays dividends because you're putting yourself out there, you're humanizing all of us, and I think people get a chance to see that we're just normal people, that we just put on the same outfit every day versus somebody else changing their outfit, and they get to see that we're there for them. You can just come up and have a conversation with us, and especially for like the kids who may be a little timid or scared. By the end of it, whether they're there for Santa Claus or the picnic or whatever the case may be, they interact with us. They see, we got one officer that for the Christmas, we're the Santa Claus for 3 hours. He's just sat there and colored with the kids,
And he has no kids.
That's cool.
And he has
cool.
no kids. He's not married or anything. So yeah, it's nice to be able to do that stuff, to have a department that, we're big enough we can have those things, but small enough that not only do we know each other, but we get to know the people that come, really well on like a personal basis.
In October, we're going to try and do a trunk or treat. So we'll have squad cars parked in the parking lot, and kids could come, and adults if they want
Oh, that's
candy.
cool.
In the future, probably not this year with the pandemic, we'll have a haunted house. And so if a kid's scared, they can pick a police officer to go with them with a flashlight to go through the haunted house so they
That's
feel
cool
safe.
as hell.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, I like
you
that.
try and think outside the box, and you talk to
Right.
people, see what they want to do. And our other big thing is the CERT team. We have a team of volunteers where they help us with traffic control, or we have a search and rescue team. Recently, we had an elderly gentleman walk away, gone for 3 hours. Well, that's never a good thing.
Right.
We had our search and rescue team out like that. And of course, we found him. But departments have now opened themselves up to accepting help from civilians. I mean, they go through background checks, but we can't do this without them. So we're a smaller department. So if we have 2 people on traffic control, now we have 1 or 2 people working the street. So they just alleviate our manpower, and we can function better as a department.
What is the number one thing that people have wrong about police? What is the one thing that people think as opposed to what is the reality of a police officer?
Again, there's that human factor that we really are pretty much like you and everybody in this room. I mean, in the end, but I think that some people have a misconception that, oh, they're the cops, they're not going to help me because I live here, or I'm this color, or I don't speak good English, or whatever. That's the furthest thing from the truth. If you call 911, I promise you that the dispatchers will not ask what race you are or any of that stuff. It doesn't matter. If you need the police, and that's just not us, it's anywhere, we will be there for you. And we will do our best to solve whatever issue it is. If you call because you need a spider killed on your ceiling, we'll do it. And now I'm not advocating to call us.
This is good to know.
Don't calls.
Like, yo, damn, they going above and beyond, y'all.
My point being, though, literally, if you call us for almost anything, we will do our best to help you. We had one officer get called, and I don't know exactly what the original call was, but he ended up going and buying a phone for this elderly lady. So, anything we can do out of his own pocket, anything we can do to help somebody, we will do it, or we will do our best to find somebody that will help you. We partner with AID, and for specifically victim services, we rely on them to come out for some mental health issues. For a lot of times we use it for grieving people, because if you deal with a death or something like that, there's family members that are grieving. With them, Mutual Ground, places like that. There's the Kane County 211 that people can call.
Yeah, that's right.
For assistance. I know that, like, at the last Santa Claus event we had, we asked for food donations. It took 3 vehicles to get everything there, and we gave everything to the Aurora food pantry. And we'll recommend them to, hey, if you're low on food or whatever the case may be, right on Jericho Road, if you can get there. Yeah. So, that's my point, is that the police are there for everybody and for just about anything.
Yeah, and we were talking too in our little pre-show conversation just about all the opportunities that you have to get involved, but people really need to step up and be present and attend some of these things.
You bet.
To get to know you guys and to build a stronger community.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely. We're there. Just find us. We put ourselves out there, and we will talk to anybody. We will deal with any situation. And you know what? Just talk to us. If you've got questions or need answers or anything, we're more than happy.
Stop by the police department.
Stop by, call me.
Mm-hmm.
I have an open door policy. I return every phone call. Email me. And if I can't take care of it, like I said, I will find somebody that will.
The time is now 8:31. You are listening to Good Morning Aurora, and we are sitting down with Deputy Chief of Police of North Aurora Police Department, Joe DeLeo, and Chief of Police, David Fisher. Where were you gentlemen at on the day of the hubbub in Aurora, rioting and whatnot?
That was a strange day, huh?
I can tell you. For both of us, I can tell you exactly where we were. We were at our police department.
Okay.
We were there. Joe and I take a very active role as administrators in the police department. Sometimes they're not always around, or they leave stuff to the other supervisors. But we take a very active role in everything. And I live in town. Like I said earlier, I chose to make my home in North Aurora, so I'm very close. But we were at the police department. We were ready as best as we could be in case anything led into our town. Unfortunately, it did not. But that's exactly where we were. And we were there pretty much for the duration until everything in Aurora kind of died down and it quieted down. I did not go home. We were probably there from 1 or 2 in the afternoon till 11 or midnight. I mean, it was a long day, and it was extremely stressful. It was very hard to listen to the radio and hear what was going on. The demonstrations and the protests, I don't think any of us have a problem with that. And people trying to get their message out, absolutely not. It's when it turns violent and you're listening to, your brothers and sisters, under fire. I'll use that word, but getting stuff thrown at them, and small explosions, fireworks going off, cars getting burned. That's very hard to listen to.
Right.
And we have a couple guys on SWAT, another officer with the Elias team. They were downtown Aurora. I was talking to some of the Aurora command staff, letting them know we can't get our people past here to get you downtown. We'll help you from your police department north. So we had officers stationed at the Walmart. We sent a couple people up to the outlet mall. But it was very interesting. I mean, like the chief said, it's not the demonstrators. Look, we can disagree, but at least they want to communicate and talk. It's the rioters and the people who just want to damage. They don't want to listen. They were actually sending people on ATVs and dirt bikes to see where we were stationed, to see where they could destroy things. And they know we can't chase you. Once you're in a squad car, you can't chase somebody through a field.
Yeah.
It was very interesting to see. It was well organized. But I think they did a really good job. They did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
It was impressive to hear on the radio.
Yeah. When we asked, we got a chance to speak to Ron Hain. He let us know about some of the other measures that the sheriff's department took to, be prepared, stay prepared, be squared away during that. Spoke to, Deputy Demeter about it too. And, his opinion was really well. I love that guy, and hearing him talk about it, cause he's an Aurora guy, like, you could see people listening to this at home are not able to see the emotion of the individual you're talking to. He was really like, it really bugged him. It really bugged him. It really did.
Absolutely. And I think it bothered like all of us. Yeah. I know it bled over into, like family life, because my kids and my wife knew what was going on.
Right.
I kind of let them know, informed them that, hey, I'm okay. This is where I'm at, but this is what's going on. And I know my kids were worried. My wife was worried, and I don't think they went to bed till I walked through the door. So It doesn't affect just us and the police on the front lines. It has a ripple effect, and it just goes on and on and on. And, it's just, speaking of Sheriff Hain, we relied on them during this time, on them heavily, because being a smaller department, I can only field so many officers, at a time, because I got to keep some free to protect the town. But I also need a group to help that if this stuff does come to our town. So a big thank you to him, because we really relied on the sheriff's office a lot during these, the protests or the ones that were, supposedly planned. You get on social media and it's like, hey, we're going to do this here at this time. And
funny thing about social media, right?
Yeah, a lot of that stuff didn't come to fruition, luckily, but you have to take everything serious.
Yeah, funny thing about social media. I mean, you got Snapchat and you got the Snap Map.
Yes.
Which show, I mean, to the uninformed at home, nobody's snitching on you when you're on the Snapchat map, snapping where you're at and where you're going to be.
Right.
I mean, the shit has the red dot, and it's showing you where you're
going. My kids were shocked when I told them about it. Like, how do you know about that?
Yeah.
I might be 50 years old, but I still...
we right here on the corner, whatever, man. F12,
yeah. Exactly.
I'm like, oh,
and we
interesting.
Like you said, family life. My daughter would text me. It'd be the same thing every day. Love you too.
Right.
The bad? I'm like, John, I'm not telling you if it's bad or not.
Right.
Everything's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
They still have that PTSD from the Pratt shooting.
Right.
So, I mean...
That's something we're going to get into. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I'll let you.
Well, here's the thing. The Henry Pratt shooting, we were together as a community, as residents and individuals, and with the police department. Shout out again to Brian Demeter, but when they had the Aurora Strong benefit at Ballydoyle, I was there volunteering, helping out. It was good to see a lot of police departments come through. Guys were on bikes, had their shirts, lodges, whatever the case may be. And it was a really nice thing. Henry Pratt shooting, we were together. Now we are completely divided. Residents and law enforcement, police. How do we get back to being unified?
I think communication is the root of everything, and just coming together and both sides realizing that, part of what I say is right, but part of what I say is wrong. And the other side, needing to realize that too. And, throughout my career, I've seen the pendulum swing. We've been the hero and we've been the villain. And then we've been the hero and then we've been the villain. And hopefully that pendulum will swing back as, more positive reforms are made. There's no police officer is going to tell you that everything is perfect, because it's not. And yes, there are things that need to be changed out there with all of us. And when some of that positive change comes and the communication is flowing, I think is when when I say get back to normal as can be.
Right.
And we will never agree, all of us. It's just impossible, because you're always going to have people out there that say it's not enough, or it's not what we want, or whatever the case may be. But if the effort is made there and changes are made for the positive for everybody, I think it would go a long way to changing that and getting the pendulum to swing back. That no, we're not the villains.
Right.
Just because of the misdeeds of a few, the masses are still there for you.
And the Pratt shooting, I mean, I think that's what you just go back to. I mean, being there, I saw patches I didn't even recognize. I mean, there are people coming from all over. Aurora, their police department just had 5 officers shot. But I was inside with a bunch of them, and there was a job to do. We all come running. I mean, that was the weirdest day where you make that decision and go like, wow, this is the day I might fight it. This is it. All right, well, time to go. I remember being with one of the Aurora officers. He goes, anybody here SWAT? I was like, no. He's like, all right, F it, let's go. And then you go in that door. We will always be there. Nothing has really changed with the way we do our job. Like the chief and I were talking after Ferguson, you were worried about being at a traffic light, somebody walking up behind you, shooting in the back of the head. So you're watching. Now, after the Floyd incident, and we're seeing a lot more, the silent majority has woken up of all colors, saying they appreciate us, wanting to talk to us, thanking us. We thank them for supporting us. But just some of the contempt you see in people's eyes. Like, you don't even know, I mean, just at a traffic light, somebody drives by, flicks me off, and you're like, whoa.
They don't know you.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
I have.
I'm like, did I have my turn signal on too long?
Yeah.
What?
Like, dang.
Yeah, it's just a contempt. But I think everything's cyclical.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.